Hello, I'm Nura. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm here with another unlock photography related video. And normally I don't upload two unlock photography videos in a row, but during the weekend I asked on Instagram whether you wanted to see another unlock photography video or finished foods. And the results were pretty close to each other, with unlock photography being 53% and finished foods being 47%. So you guys wanted another unlock photography video, and today I will be talking about masks. One of the fun things about unlock photography is how you can manipulate film, like reversing it to do red scale photos, or as I explained last week, how to split the images to do the EBS, exposing both sides technique, or you can also add some chemicals to your film and do some film soups. And today's technique is a little different from all of those, where I will be adding some text and drawings into the photos, which is called the masks. And in order to do that, what you need to do is add something inside your camera before you start shooting. And in order to explain it, I'm going to be showing it through my Diana Instant. And the reason I'm showing it on this is because the inside is larger in here, so it's going to be easier for me to explain. But I'll also show you results that I shot with not only instax film, but also medium format and 35mm. So this is a technique you can use with any of your analog cameras. And what you need to do is, before you put your film in, you need to add something inside here. And my Diana Instant came with a pre-made mask, so I'll start drawing in it first. So this is the template that came with my Diana, and it is basically transparency, and I'm just going to draw on it with these markers that are permanent. And the reason I'm drawing with these markers is because otherwise they would bleed on this transparency, and I don't want it to be smudgy. So the easiest way to do this is using these kinds of permanent markers or CD pens or whatever you call them. And what I'm doing is actually drawing some clouds and some little raindrops, and I'm gonna do some shadows sort of inside the clouds here with the blue. And this blue is actually a thicker one, so it's gonna show more prominently. And I'm also gonna add some little trees to the bottom here. And you can of course use any transparency that you have, but this just came with my camera and it's just easier to use. Okay, so you guys watched me draw on this, but I'm gonna show it again in close up. And here is the result of my drawing. So I did some clouds up top and some raindrops and some trees. And in order to put this in my camera, I opened the back up. And then, well, of course, I'm not one to check inside the camera first in order to see how this would go in, which is the fun part, the surprising part. But the thing is, this needs to go in like that, because this part needs to match the inside of my camera here. And so, if I can just put this up, and here we go. So it's gonna go in like that, and I'm gonna be shooting sideways trees and clouds, but you're gonna understand the technique at least. I just took a photo with my Diana Instant Square, and while that develops, I'm also gonna be adding a mask to my Instant. And like I said, with the instax, the area is larger, so it is easier for me to explain, and also I get to see the results right away, which is the fun. I'm gonna be doing the second mask for the inside of here, and I realized that I don't have any transparency, so I'm gonna be using this wrapper for my scrapbooking papers. And the size of an Instax mini photo is a credit card size, so I'm just cutting it, eyeballing it to match this card I have, and I'm just gonna cut it to size first, and then do a drawing, and then stick it inside my camera. And the previous mask that I drew was pre-made that came with the camera, so I didn't have to stick it inside. I just had to just put it in place, whereas with this one I will have to stick. And because the Instax film actually when you press the shutter it exits through the top of the camera, so I'm gonna tape it on the bottom and on the top so that it doesn't slide. And what I'm drawing is I'm using the same pens as I did in the first example, and I'm doing these little trees on the bottom. And I already drew some clouds up top, and of course my cat is again in here. Anyway, so I'm just gonna take out some tape and gonna tape the top sort of like halfway. And one thing that you need to be careful about is making sure that the tape doesn't show in the exposure area inside the camera, because you don't want your photo to have that marking. And it turns out that I cut it a little too large, so I'm just gonna cut it a little more. And I think if I put the tape in first it's gonna be easier. Okay, I'm just gonna take it out and trim it a little more. Okay, it seems like it's gonna fit now, and I am gonna first stick the bottom, because the bottom is actually larger, so there's like more space in there for me to get my fingers in. And now I did the top as well, and like I said, I'm doing top and bottom because the photo actually will slide upwards in my camera. And now it's time to load the camera and see the results. Before I share the results of my Instax photos, I want to show you some results that I did with 35mm and medium format. And one of the cameras that I used for 35mm for masking technique was the Sardina. And La Sardina is a 35mm camera. It has a regular rectangular exposure area. And what I did was I used some colored transparencies like these, and I cut some grass, and if I can find the green, so I cut some grass and stuck it up top here, and I did some flowers, and I also did some stuff resembling the clouds, so it looked inside something like this. And the reason that the grass green is up top and the blue clouds is on the bottom is when you do a mask, you need to do it upside down so it ends up being the correct way in your camera, or on your photo rather. And the reason for that is when you take a photo, the light actually enters the camera as if in a cross, so what's up ends up being in the bottom of the film. So you need to be aware of that. And like I said, I did some clouds and grass with some colored transparencies. And you can also use these, which are, they're a pack of flash filters that come with the Diana. And there's a bunch of different colors. So the easiest thing you can actually do is just stick these inside the camera like that. So you get different colors, and you can cut these up to add more colors. Or, like I tried, you can add some different designs. Another thing I did was try this technique with my Diana F Plus, and I'm not gonna take out my Diana which is the medium format, so it's a little smaller than this, but the general idea is the same. So what I did was add a mask inside here, and these were actually my first tries, the black and whites being the first that I'm just gonna show you. And as I said while talking about the sardina, you need to add the mask upside down so that the right way is visible in your photo. And while I was doing the texts, which I got, I printed them onto transparencies from a regular printer. And what I did was I stuck it like this, so the right side being up. And because of that, the text ended up being upside down. Finally, let's talk about the photos that I just took. And the first photo was with my Diana Instant Square. And when I was putting the mask in, I told you that I did it wrong and it was gonna be sideways. And of course, I could have just shot it like this, which I didn't. And because of that, here you can sort of see, I hope, you can see the clouds here, and there are some trees down in the bottom here. And let me just show you the scanned version. And finally, the results with the Lomo Instant. And before I show you the final results, I just want to remind you, if you haven't done so, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And I promise to upload every Tuesday, so hopefully I'll see you here next week. And the results. So I shot the same thing with the Lomo Instant as well. These are my little toys, the Peanuts toys I have, like the Charlie Brown and the Snoopy. And here you can see the clouds up top here. There's a focus. And so this is another image, and here are the clouds. And of course, I shot a photo of myself as well. The clouds are again in the same place because all throughout the same film, it's going to end up having the same effect. And here you can see some clouds above me. And this is not really visible, but this is my little rose in the balcony. And here are some clouds as well. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and if you tried this technique, you can drop me a line in the comments to let me know how it went. And otherwise, I hope to see you here next week. Bye!